March 24th, 2026, episode 629. This is episode 629. Let's go. Of course, I have a few things to share with you guys.
Your shadow sharp because like glass. No one behind the words you care.
Shall we?
Echo in your laugh. You take, you break, you never end. Heartless, that's what you are. Burning bridges, leaving scars. Heartless, you went too far. Left me stranded in the dark.
California woman woke up to find obsessed stalker sucking her toes.
Modesto man is now convicted of breaking into a woman's home and sucking on her toes. We have a picture from May of last year when Kristen Solorio was arrested. Prosecutors say Solorio began stalking that victim in February of last year, and then in May broke into her home, and while she slept, he started biting and licking her toes. When the victim woke up, she was able to talk to keep the suspect calm until her family members could help her and call 911.
I mean, she has 10 toes. The least they could do is give him a year for each toe, because you know he's not going to do that whole 6 years. Back in May 2023, there was the story of a man that woke up in his Nashville Hilton hotel room to the Nashville Hilton hotel manager sucking on his feet. Then in September 2024, you had the weirdo that was hiding under cars on that scorching Arizona pavement. You remember that year when the sole was melting off people's sneakers? Yeah, that year, just to look at women's feet. You got popsicles, you got Jolly Ranchers, hell, you have your own thumbs. They're all treats for some men out there, but for a special group, nothing beats a footsie pop. A California woman was dealing with an obsessed stalker at work when she woke up one night last year to find him sucking on her toes. Well, you say you want a man that's going to make the first move, ladies. There you go. Kristen Solorio, 28, received a maximum sentence of 6 years and 8 months. He's not going to do the whole 6 years after being convicted of felony stalking and breaking into a residence with the intent to commit a sex act, the Stanislaus County District Attorney announced in a March 20th press release. Can't catch a break, huh, ladies? Finally, a man that doesn't want you for your body, but he doesn't want you for your mind or your personality either. Hell, he doesn't even want you for your money. He just wants to suck cold pudding off your feet after you're exhausted from a long day's work, whether you're conscious or not. It just screams romance. Just like there were some guys out there from the last story that liked that woman who pissed all over the place in that Airbnb, some women would consider this guy an eater and snatch him right up on their roster. Solorio, a Modesto resident, immediately became obsessed with the victim after he first encountered her at her place of work in February 2025, Valentine's Day. So is Cupid responsible for shooting his arrow of love into this woman's feet? He would show up to her job multiple times a day and ask her out several times. He's being consistent. This is what you want, ladies. Even sending her a letter. This is not what ladies want. Even sending her a letter expressing a desire to take her to Mexico. That road trip you always wanted, though. In a separate press release last year, the Stanislaus County Sheriff's Office noted that Solorio would follow the woman home after her shift and even slept in his car outside her residence. And now it's getting creepy. He was seen observing her family members and checking doors for ease of access in the days leading up to the incident, per the sheriff's office. Well, my love, mi corazón, I'd love to take you to Mexico and worship your feet after they've walked miles on the same sand that the cartel beheads people on. I can see him not even looking at her face when he asks her out, not her hips or her chest. I hate to see you leave, but I love to watch you go. And it's just staring at her ankles the entire time. On May 21st, 2025, after the woman's father left the residence, Solorio broke into the home. According to the district attorney's office, the sheriff's department added that the victim then awoke to the shocking scene of Solario sucking and biting her toes and attempting to get her into bed. Wow. Although terrified, the victim managed to talk with Solario in a friendly demeanor in an attempt to keep him calm and de-escalate his actions, the district attorney's office said per the release. Way to go, staying calm under pressure. And I know this was immense pressure. Family members ultimately came to the woman's room and demanded that Solario leave. They should have whooped his ass, which he did. The release states he got off too easy. He was arrested after the woman called 911. See, he wanted a foot in his mouth. The family should have gave him a foot in his ass. He was arrested after the woman called 911 and admitted to breaking into her home when questioned by authorities. Of course, I love to hear your thoughts on this. I love to hear your opinions on this. There you have it, ladies. Kristen Solario. When you say you want a man that don't play about you, there's a thin line between him and this guy. Texas man arrested after allegedly throwing bucket containing possible human remains towards FBI field office.
So, we're gonna toss these human remains over the FBI fence.
Wednesday, federal and local police arrested Fry at his home in Bartonville. According to the warrant, Fry's mom called 911 after he asked for money for a U-Haul, saying, quote, he had a body that needed to be moved. Federal and local authorities responded to Oddfellows Cemetery in Denton, where Bartonville police say they found a damaged mausoleum, now missing a coffin. They say online videos posted by Fry also led them to a cemetery in Oklahoma City, where they say he stole an urn with human remains. Fry's arrest comes nearly 8 years after he first made headlines, ramming his truck into the Fox 4 newsroom.
Anytime you get a mugshot of a person and they're wearing either a towel or some sort of paper smock, it means they're loonies. It means they're off their rocker. It means a jail nurse gives them pills in a little shot glass to keep them in Candyland. How else would you explain him asking his mom for money to move a corpse? At least Norman Bates was independent enough to move his own troubles without bothering his poor mom. And at 40 plus years old, what type of relationship, what type of codependency do you have with your mother that you can casually offer her to maybe become an accessory to tampering with evidence? A Texas man, I'm going to start a playlist just for you, Texas, has been charged with abuse of a corpse after he threw a bucket containing suspected human remains over a fence at the FBI's Dallas field office and posted a video of it on YouTube. All I'm saying is you would have got the same effect if it was a bucket full of beef rib bones or a bucket full of fried chicken bones. They still would have came out. You still would have got the same level of attention. Michael Chadwick Fry, 41, was arrested Thursday, charged with 2 counts of abuse of a corpse and tampering with evidence, the Bartonville Police Department said in a news release. The investigation began on March 16th when a Bartonville police officer responded to a call from Fry's mother, who said he asked her for money to pay for a U-Haul. Pathetic. What is it, like $20, $30? When asked why, he said he had a body that needed to be moved. The probable cause affidavit said, what type of son are you being to your mother when she feels that she has to call the authorities on her own son? That must have been embarrassing for her. Fry then became irate and left the home. You never want to help me, Mom. Shortly after, the officer received information from Fry's sister that he had filmed himself on YouTube at the Dallas FBI field office, the affidavit said. Then he put it up on YouTube to be used against him in a court of law. You better leave the FBI and all these agencies alone before some inappropriate pictures magically appear in your browser history. This is real life. This is not social media. Social media is fake. Social media is contrived. But here's the thing. People are out here chasing that next viral video. They want to be the next big thing. They're chasing that attention. Hey, look at me. Look at me. Look at what I'm doing. And in the process, they're catching real charges, breaking real laws, going to real jail, and facing real consequences. Fine, I'll do it myself, Mom. The video showed Fry throwing a large, closed white bucket over the fence into the secure parking lot of the Dallas FBI field office building, according to the affidavit. Fry claimed in the video he was trying to compel the FBI FBI to intervene in what he described as wrongdoing by Denton County officials from a past arrest. The affidavit said he's been arrested over 24 times. So which past arrest? It's not clear what that alleged wrongdoing was. An FBI special agent said the bucket contained numerous bones that appeared to be human, per the affidavit. The bones are awaiting further forensic analysis. Fry had also posted another video on YouTube. I went to his YouTube channel. It's just a mess. You're trying to gaslight the cops. You might end up getting shot, but I'm pretty sure they know you by name because you've been arrested so many times. That depicted what appeared to be a human skull at his Denton County home. The mother told police that she found in her vehicle's GPS history 3 searches for cemeteries, 1 in Arlington, Texas, and 2 in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. She said, when do people have time to do this? I could barely make a video and people got time to dig up graves. She also said she found a shovel that was never at the residence before, and her son had started to lock the shed in the back of the home, which he didn't do prior, the affidavit said.
Hi, this is Fry and Verdo News, rest of the family and friends. We're here to check with the FBI again.
A video posted to YouTube is now being used as evidence against 41-year-old Michael Fry. That's according to an arrest warrant accusing him of abuse of a corpse. The warrant says the video shows Fry at the FBI's Dallas field office.
Hi, I'm here to do a status check on the investigation. What happened to me and my dead family and friends.
Investigators say Fry tried to get the FBI's attention by throwing a white bucket loaded with human remains over the FBI's fence as a way to, quote, summon them by force and compel the FBI to intervene in what he described as wrongdoing by Denton County officials in a past arrest.
According to CBS News, Fry claimed the stunt would summon the federal agents. Listen, buddy, you summon Beetlejuice, you summon Candyman, hell, you summon Pikachu, but you don't summon the FBI. They should have locked you down there with the X-Files and whatever the hell else they be investigating and let those little green men probe that empty real estate lot between your ears where a brain would normally be. In the investigation by Bartonville police and FBI agents, see, you actually made them come out, but instead of them investigating whatever you claim that you wanted them to take a look at, they have to waste resources to investigate your doofy ass when they could have been allocating resources to somebody that was really missing or something. Fry was found to have posted videos online depicting separate human remains and an urn of ashes. Investigators later determined that Fry had stolen an urn containing human remains from a cemetery in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, which was the subject of an Oklahoma City Police Department investigation in February, according to Bartonville police. FBI agents also found evidence at a cemetery in Denton, Texas, indicating that a coffin containing human remains had been removed from a mausoleum. Bartonville police said officials did not disclose who the remains belonged to, nor why Fry might have targeted them. I'm pretty sure they contacted a relative or something. The case remains active and ongoing, and next of kin have been notified. Police said, yeah, there we go. Fry remains in custody Sunday on a $30,000 surety bond. According to booking records, it's not immediately clear if he's retained a lawyer. Fry had made headlines in the past for ramming a truck into a Fox 4 building in downtown Dallas in 2018. In that case, police determined Fry was upset about a 2012 police shooting in Denton County that killed his friend. So his friend was ramming his vehicle into a police cruiser, and the police shot him and killed him. Fry was in the passenger seat. So the police shot and killed his friend who was ramming a police cruiser while Fry was sitting right next to him. He had apologized to the local news station during a court hearing, Fox 4 reported. Of course, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. I'd love to hear your opinions on this. See, this is why I couldn't be in law enforcement. I would have tased this guy until his balls exploded, left my badge on the desk, went home and got burrito tacos, because suffering fools lightly is an unwritten requirement in LE. And I know myself a little better than that. The FBI was in there. They finally got a fresh lead on DB Cooper after 50 years. And here's a distraction. This jackass literally throws a new case over the fence. Fun show.
Hi,
Fun show, fun show. The music for this episode is from Twan Beatmaker. Get your music from Twan Beatmaker. I'll leave the contact information down here at the bottom. If you're a producer and you would like to have your music featured on an episode of this podcast, reach out to me on any one of my socials. Don't forget to follow me on all my socials. Find me wherever you listen or watch your favorite podcast. I am there. That being said, I'm going to wrap this one up, but I'll be sure to talk to you guys very, very soon. Jusqu'à la prochaine. Wow.
Left me stranded in the dark.
Well, my love, mi corazon. Well, my love, mi corazon. I'd love to take you to Mexico and worship your feet on the same sands that the cartel beheads people on. Can't catch a break, huh, ladies? Finally, a man that doesn't want you for your body, but he doesn't want you for your mind or your personality either. Hell, he doesn't even want you for your money. He just wants to suck cold pudding off your feet after you're after you're exhausted from a long day's work.